YouTube world, what's going on? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. Let's get it in. So, we're gonna talk about the Chris Benoit situation because we need to talk about this. I don't know if this video is gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna make this video an hour long or if I'm gonna break it down into part, but I don't know. We'll see. So, I don't think Benoit killed his family. I don't think he killed his son. I don't think he killed his wife. I think that WWE and Vince McMahon in the state of Georgia in the police department play a huge role on Benoit's so-called murder-suicide. The case was closed fast, so many unanswered questions and stuff like that. So how I'm gonna start this video? I'm gonna start this video with the phone call that the neighbor made. And the neighbor, to me, with Vince McMahon and WWE and the police department are all in on it. Even the neighbor. So we're gonna analyze her phone call. You know how I do. I like to dissect shit. I like to break shit down. I like to look at shit that most people look past with this phone call. Let's get it in.
Hey, County 911, what is your emergency?
Hi, the cops came to my house and I just want to make sure that they're okay because they sent me over to my neighbor's house.
What's your address?
I'm at 110 Green Meadow Lane and they asked me to hop the fence because they have attack dogs and I went in and someone...
So, instead of the police department calling for animal control, they wanna call Chris Benoit's neighbor to put the dogs up instead of calling animal control. Not only that she put the dogs up, she went inside the house, possibly tampering with the crime scene, bruh. Where they do that at? Why would the cops tell you to hop the fence and go put the dogs up when there's a potential crime scene? Instead of them calling for animal control. Let's get it in. Let's keep going, y'all.
The little boy and the mom are dead, and so I ran out to scream to them, but then they went in the house and they haven't come out yet. Are they okay? Have you heard
Okay,
from
hold on just a moment.
You guys, and another thing. If the cops are inside the house already, why the fuck are you dialing 911? If the cops already in Chris Benoit's house, why did she dial 911? For what? This shit does not make no sense at all. It doesn't make any sense for someone to call the police when the police is already there inside the house. And then you are worrying about the police getting hurt. Why would you worry about the police getting hurt? We talking about police officers that's armed with weapon. But you are worrying about them getting hurt. Why?
I know where the controls are, but I'm not going in there until...
You're not going in there, but you was just in there. She was just in there. What the fuck? You check every room in the house except for the basement. Why? But let's continue.
Tell the cops to come this way.
Okay, ma'am,
Did the cops call it?
listen to me. What did the cops tell you to do?
They told me because this guy's a professional wrestler and I'm friends with him, and they said, can you go put the attack dogs in the kennel? And I did that. And then I went upstairs.
You see how she's stuttering? You see how she's stuttering? As if she's reading a script. She's trying to remember a script. But let's continue.
Everything was open, so I was yelling, Nancy, Daniel, that's the little boy. And I went up to Daniel's room and he'd been killed. And then I went up to Nancy watch TV, and she had been strangled and had tape on her.
Notice how she said Nancy has been strangled. Notice how she said Nancy has been strangled to death. How did she know Nancy was strangled to death before everything even came out? This phone call was way before everything even came out. Way before they ruled this a so-called murder-suicide. How she know Nancy Benoit was strangled? How do you know that? How do you know she wasn't shot up with drugs? The cause of death could have been anything, but you came up with strangled. Interesting. But let's continue.
Okay. And then I didn't see Mr. Benoit. I don't know where he is. I didn't want to go down in the basement for some reason. I just...
Okay, ma'am.
He might be dead. Oh, now there's...
He might be what? He might be what? Y'all hear that, right? Y'all hear this, right? He might be what? So she checked all the room except for the basement. She was afraid that Chris Benoit would hurt the cops. Why would she be afraid, and why would she think that Chris Benoit would hurt the cops before everything even came out? Again, this phone call came, right, way before everything came out. Way before they ruled that Benoit so-called killed his family. But yet, somehow, she worried about Chris Benoit hurting the cops? Oh, I don't want to go down there. He might what? She's fucking up the script, y'all. This is what I do. I look at shit, little shit like that people look through. That might... come on, man. Let's go.
More cops here, but those cops...
Ma'am, listen to me. What did the cops tell you to do? Did they tell you to go to the neighbor's house?
Yes.
Okay.
Now they came when I said everyone's been murdered, and they went in the house, and I said
She said everyone been murdered. Case closed, right? She said everyone been murdered. Come on, man. Let's continue.
looked in every room but the basement, and they...
I look at every room but the basement. She said she's not going back in there because she was scared, but you was in there. You looked through every room, and that's not a small house. That is a big house. She looked through every room except the basement. And y'all telling me this is a coincidence? And y'all telling me I'm supposed to believe Chris Benoit murdered his son? Murdered his wife? Knowing that he was gonna win a world title. Chris Benoit was scheduled to win a world title, and y'all really believe this man would do this? Imagine working hard your whole entire life for something, and then all of a sudden you snap and kill your wife and kids. And I don't want to get too off, right? I don't want to get too off the subject. It still is a subject, but I want to continue with the phone call, but let's continue. My bad, y'all.
went in the basement, and now they got to come back out.
Okay, listen to me. Listen, we have got contact with our cops. But if
They're okay?
ma'am, our cops are okay.
But they're okay.
But if they told you to go to the neighbor's house, you need to stay over there, okay?
No, I'm here. I'm right outside the Benoit's house. No, I mean, they just said stay here in the driveway. I just got nervous because they never came back out.
Have contact.
Guys, listen to this. She said she got nervous because they never came back out. Lady, there's 3 dead bodies in the house. It is a crime scene. Of course they're not gonna come right back out. They have to look at the crime scene. This shit don't make no sense, y'all. This phone call right here alone, to me, proves Benoit is innocent, man. They haven't come back out. Of course not, because there's 3 dead bodies in there. Why would you call the cops? this shit don't make no sense. This phone call to me makes zero sense. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds fake. It sounds scripted. It doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound like a friend that just seen her best friend body and her son body. It doesn't sound like it, man. It sounds like she's reading a script. Let's continue.
It's your SO people that live in the basement.
Okay, they do. She's talked to the cops in the house. Okay. I'm sorry. I was nervous that he might be in there and do something to them.
She was nervous that Chris Benoit might do something to the cop. Why would you be nervous that Chris Benoit might do something to the cop before everything even came out? Why would you be nervous? Huh? Why would she be nervous that Chris Benoit will do something to the cops as if she knows something? That's because, ladies and gentlemen, she is a fraud. She is an actor. She is part of the game. Benoit is innocent. Because this phone call makes zero sense. Let's continue.
I just don't know what.
The neighbor that was told by the police to get out of the house, she's the one that found the murdered body. And she said when the cops ran down in the basement, she had seen them, she was afraid something had happened to the cops in the basement.
Your cop, she didn't.
Listen to me. The SO dispatcher said he has contact with them and they're okay.
Okay, they're okay. And they're...
If you see Nancy Benoit in the room, you see Daniel Benoit in the room, what makes you think Chris Benoit was in the basement? How do you know Benoit wasn't out? How do you know Benoit wasn't out? How do you know Benoit didn't left the country? But you assume Benoit was in the basement. Why? You assume that Benoit would hurt the cops. Why? Because this shit is fake, man. Clear as day.
Okay, another cop here. So I just wanted to make sure your cops in the basement were okay.
Okay, everything?
She keeps, you notice how she keeps saying basement, right? That is, you guys, that is a big house. The Benoit, if you Google this, Benoit house is pretty big. That is not a small house. But you keep assuming the basement. She's focusing on the basement. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this entire shit is orchestrated and staged. And she's fucking up the script.
Fine. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. I just wanted to make...
Hey, County 911, what is your emergency?
Hi, the cops came to my house, and I just want to make sure that they're okay, because they sent me over to my neighbor's house.
What's your address?
I'm at 110 Green Meadow Lane, and they asked me to hop the fence because they have attack dogs, and I went in, and someone, the little boy and the mom are just...
Notice how she said someone, and then she cut it. And then she went back to, she saw Nancy and Benoit bodies. I'm gonna play the clip again.
House,
What's your address?
I'm at 110 Green Meadow Lane, and they asked me to hop the fence because they have attack dogs, and I went in, and someone, the little boy and the
You see,
mom are just...
someone, the little boy. Someone what? She's fucking up the script. And another thing I want to show y'all, and another thing I want y'all to notice. I need y'all to notice something. Again, this person, if Nancy Benoit is your friend, you seen her body, you seen her child body. Her voice doesn't sound like someone that is actually crying. She's supposed to be crying. Listen to her voice, right? She's trying to cry, but it failed. You know how you know it failed? Because once she started to pretend to cry, and then towards the end, her voice sound like everything is normal. Let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean, y'all.
And so I ran out to scream to them, but then they went in the house and they haven't come out yet. Are they okay? Have you?
Okay, hold on just a moment. Something going on at
I know where the controls are, but I'm not going in there until Garrett. Tell the cops to come this way.
You see how her voice went normal? In the beginning, she was trying to cry. She was trying to weep. Those are fake crying and weep. You guys, when someone is crying, especially if you see your best friend body, it's going to be hard for you to talk. You're going to stutter and you're going to sound like you're weeping the entire time. It would be impossible for you to talk. It will be impossible for you to talk normal. Here, I hope you guys walking with me here. Her voice changed as if she was never crying. Listen to her voice again, y'all. Listen closely.
Okay, ma'am. Did the cops call us? I mean, listen to me. What did the cops tell you to do?
They told me because this guy's a professional wrestler and I'm friends with him, and they said, can you go put the attack dogs in the kennel? And I did that. And then I went upstairs. Everything was open.
You see how she's stuttering again? But let's continue.
So I was yelling, Nancy, Daniel, that's the little boy. And I went up to Daniel's room and he'd been killed.
Now she's trying to pretend to cry. She's been killed. You see how she's pretending? Now listen to the voice towards the end. Tell me if that's somebody that was crying before. Let's go.
I went up to Nancy's where she sits to watch TV, and she had been strangled and had tape on her face. And then I didn't see Mr. Benoit. I don't know where he is. I didn't want to go down in the basement. For some reason, I just...
Okay, ma'am.
He might be dead. Oh, now there's more cops here, but those cops...
Ma'am, listen to me. What did the cops tell you to do? Did they tell you to go to the neighbor's house?
Yes. And
okay.
Now they came when I said everyone's been murdered, and they went in the house, and I said I looked in every room but the basement, and they went in the basement, and now they got to come back out.
Now they got to come back out. You see how her voice went from weeping to talking straight again? Again, I've cried. You guys cried. When we're crying, our voice is not going to be normal. We're trembling and we're crying and we're in fear. She turned it on and off like this, as if she's reading a script. She's not really crying, y'all. She's not crying at all. She's turning it on and off. You can hear it in her voice. And no wonder the news at that time, the newscast didn't even want to play this police recording in the news media. You won't find it nowhere. They didn't even want to play it, period, because they know this would expose everything, because she fucked up. Let's continue.
Listen to me. Listen, we have got contact with our cops. But if they're okay? Ma'am, our cops are okay.
But they're okay.
But if they told you to go to the neighbor's house, you need to stay over there, okay?
I'm here. I'm right outside the Benoit's house. No, I mean, they just said stay here in the driveway. I just got nervous because they never came back out.
Have contact with your SO people that live in the state.
Okay, they do. She's talking to the cops in the house. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was nervous that he might be in there and do something to them.
I was nervous. You see how she went? You see how she's not like so-called crying or weeping anymore? You see how she turned it on and off?
I just don't know what...
This is the neighbor that was told by the police to get out of the house. She was the one that found the murdered bodies. And she said when the cops ran down in the basement, and she hadn't seen them, she was afraid something had happened to the cops in the basement.
Your cops, she didn't listen.
Again, the cops are not going to come out. Why? Because there's bodies in the house. They are investigating to see what could possibly went down with Benoit and his family. Of course, they're not going to come out. This whole phone call don't make no sense. Why are you calling the police when the police is already there? And another thing I want to say, I'm about to end this video. And another thing I want to say, man. Why do people want Chris Benoit to murder his family so bad? When people like me and other people are convinced that Benoit is innocent, we get called all type of names. Oh, you're dumb. You're just a conspiracy theorist. You don't know anything. Oh, Benoit did it because he had CTE. Benoit did it because his brain. Why do y'all want Chris Benoit? Why do y'all want Chris Benoit to do this so bad? It's like they want him to murder his family so bad, to ruin his image. Why? But when niggas like me and other people who's not brainwashed by television, who's not brainwashed by anything that they believe in, who's questioning the narrative, we get called a conspiracy theorist. We get called all type of fucking names. When this phone call makes 0 sense. It makes 0 sense. It makes no sense at all. It didn't make sense in the beginning. I just don't see Benoit doing this shit, man. Yeah, I don't know Chris Benoit. I really don't. But according to other wrestlers, Benoit was always nice to his family. Benoit was always nice to his son. And I find it hard to believe that Chris Benoit, who's gonna win the ECW title, who's going to win another world title, would do this. And the case closed so fast. And they act like, and people act like you can't make someone look like they murdered, their loved ones or their son or their sister, whatever. People act like you can't make someone look like they murdered somebody and then make it look like you kill yourself. That shit happens in real life, y'all. Some mafias do that. Some gangsters do that. They make it seem like you murdered your loved ones and then make it seem like you killed yourself. They act like that shit don't happen. That shit happens in real life. How do you know that don't happen with Chris Benoit? Why was the case closed? Why was the case closed so fast? Everything was rushed. Why? And another thing, why would Nancy Benoit death posted 12 hours on a encyclopedia before everything even came out? But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're gonna talk about that. But anyways, y'all be good. Y'all still aware. Your boy's out.